Okay, guys, how's everybody doing? Cool. So, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't get. I'm just kidding. What did I do? Okay, so the Space Trader, I visited the Space Trader. We're gonna make it probably the first game that I release. What did I do? What did I do? Not in here. Nothing's in here. Okay, so didn't do anything in here, but inside here, class Space Trader. Okay. Oh, I guess I gotta load that, don't I? Oops, I'm not even prepared for this. It should be right there because it's brand new. Okay. I did quite a bit. Quite a bit. So I really can't tell you. No, I'm just kidding. What did I do? I don't even know. Some of the things I did, in here, you'll notice that I did quite a bit. I'm even trying to remember how to tell you everything from the beginning here. So, what I wanted to do was copy from, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Da, da, da. Totally not prepared for this. So I wanted to copy from this demo here that has everything, basically just points, and then it goes through, I used, copied from this shader, and then this shader is actually inside the class, so it's actually just a const char equals, which makes me kind of cringe, but I will eventually not figure this out, but take it out and put it into its own shader files and do all that fancy fun stuff. But for now, we have this. Okay, so I kind of I added some extra functionality to this. What did I have to do? Right here. Okay, so so when I create points or anything, I give them a particular type, and that type has two variables. Of course, it's a vector 2, so it's x and y. So if the y variable is equal to 0, then it goes through this, which is my old gem function, and I took the absolute value of the x and the y coordinates, and I subtracted the GL point coordinates here from subtracted 0.5 from that. So instead of going from 0 to 1, it goes from negative 0.5 to positive 0.5. So then you take the absolute value, and if that goes outside of 0.4, that creates a nice little rectangle around the points. So if it's greater than 0.4, then it sets the color to 0. Otherwise, it goes through and it does the gem like it was before. So I reset the UV coordinates. So the GL point coordinates there, and then I hate that pop-up. Anyways, so I reset the GL point coordinates and then go through my little gem thing there, and then so that's one particular type. That's the resources you'll see in the inventory screen, which is just really crude. We're not doing anything super refined and everything here. So okay, so the type is, if the type.y is greater than 0, then excuse me, then I actually use it as the G, the old G, in the other fragment. I better show you first. pt9.fs. So here, G was the frrt.g, which was calculated inside here, rrt.g. So that's going to be the red color, green, which is right here. So I took that, and then how did I do that in here? See, so I put it equal to the type.y. So as I'm creating these points, I send it in, and then, well, I'll show you that in a little bit. And then I did the same thing for the, so there's the G. Okay, and then I did the same thing for the N, but you notice what I did here. So I'm using the rcolor.a to calculate two different variables because I'm hiding two different variables in one variable. So how that works is when I create the variable, there's a section that goes from like 1.2 to 3.2. And then there's a section that's above 100, and if it's in multiples of 100, it's either 0, 100, 200, or 300. So as you can see here, that with the n, I take the fractional value of that particular float divided by 100, right? So if it's over 100, that's going to make it equal to whatever it was, 0, 100, 200, 300, and so it's going to be either 0, 1, 2, or 3 point, and then whatever. So that takes just the fractional value, so it eliminates what I added in as a multiplication of the 100, and then so it's either 0, 1, 2, or 3, and then it multiplies it, other way around. So it takes just the fractional value, which was hidden underneath the 100, and multiplies it by 100. So then so the section that's below it, that is from 1.2 to 3.2, comes out. And then just the opposite happens down here, where, like I was trying to say, and I got confused there, was when I divide the number by 100, then it's either 0 point something, 1 point something, etc., 3 point something. So it divides that by 100 and take the floor of that, so that gives you 0, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, I've spit that out now. Alright, so anyways, then it goes through the rest of the function. I just copied it over. What else? Then that still does that. That's that swirly thing, and then 6. Okay, so what else changed? Okay, so I don't think anything changed there. Add point, init planet. So the planet's initialization. Okay, so I changed the init planet now. My old particle system used this variable so far to capture, but remember where in the array that you're at. So let's say you have a array size of 1,000, but you only have 750 points, and that's what this variable is for. So I reset that to 0, and then everything that's on the planet is from the third spot in the array. So that's what that add point function does. It uses the index into the thing. So that's from previous videos, and I've used this with almost every video that uses that particular functionality that I came up with for a particle system in here. But it's real crude too, and I want to expand that and do a lot more with that, but that's going to be future videos too. And I realize I'm going really fast with this, but so I did with the planet's surface, I redid that a little bit because I wanted to change the way those were showing, so they're 3, okay, and so if the random between 0 and 1 is equal to 1, it does this, otherwise it does that. So that creates kind of a little, I'll show you when it runs, it creates kind of like little categories or biomes, kind of, as you'll see, but not really, but kind of like stripes of ore. Anyways, so this is the thing. There's also a new thing with the palettes. Boy, I better write this all down, and I could do a whole video to literally show you all the changes that I made. Basically, I'll show you that when I get down to the creating of the planets, because each planet has its own palette, which is really cool. And then this is the part that I copied from. See, this is the whoops. Stay with me. So this is the rcolor.a that gets thrown in with the particle system that I made, and in the fragment shader, the rcolor.a down here is what affects the n variable and the ch variable, which goes through and puts in the modification to the gems. Okay, back to here now. That made as much sense, I guess. Okay, and then we've got, this is the type right here, and then this is the other part to it. So it goes from 2 to 12 there, obviously. And then up here, again, that is the type. Where is that at? That is right up here. Okay, so switch R type, where R type is equal to the X of the type that gets sent in. So that's a little bit of hiding the thing, and then it goes right into the thing there. I'll show you. Anyways, I'll show you. I don't know if this is making any sense to anybody, but it is to me. So, alright, then I also modified the pretty little display that shows when you have the extractor on the planet and the satellite trading network, which will eventually be things that the player understands what's going on. And I moved them up just a little bit. I had some trouble figuring that out, and well, we'll just go through the functions because I changed a lot of the functions, not all of them. But then this function, I did a little bit of a change. I had some serious problems wrapping my mind around what to do, which is why I want to redo the particle system. But Excuse me. Long story short, we're searching for the nearest planet, and then we're updating this, which is a global variable in the class. So the nearest planet as you're flying around is going to be in this variable planet X. Okay. Long story short, because that took a while. What else? Init texture doesn't change. Create shaders doesn't change. Swap, draw. Draw did not change at all. Update didn't change. Okay, points in it. Okay, so background starts didn't change. Number of planets, yeah. So everything I had to put in terms of the num planets, so it's a constant, and so I can change it up at the very top of the code, so I don't have to worry about that. So, all right. This is the fun part here with the planet palette. So each planet palette starts with the first color, and then it's random, and then each time, and it gets chosen 5 different times. So there's 5 different first colors. With each first color, we are also choosing 4 additional colors. So the palette is set to first, and then each subsequent palette color is based on the first one plus a little variation. So it goes from negative 0.5 all the way to positive 0.5 on each particular one, which makes it very interesting, you know. So each planet has a palette of 25 colors, but it's basically 5 colors with a variation of each color. So, and then the planet size, direction, that stuff didn't change. This is the planet right here. Last point equals that. Temp color, next point, last point, smaller size, last direction. No, that didn't change. Inventory display, blah blah blah. Okay, points move. That didn't change either. That was boring. What else? Oh, num planets. This, I had to change this part here just to get, you know, a lot of stuff I had to change to get used to the new constants, but it makes it a lot easier for in the future now. So. Okay, lines, navigation direction, and this stuff here, none of that changed. Okay, so. I did change this so that when you hit the E key and you're in space, so you don't have to be near a planet anymore. It's not going to land planet, init planet, all that. It's just going to run init planet, and that function, like I was showing you, I believe at the beginning of this, the init planet starts the particular initialization, just basically wipes out the initialization. So it starts the planet over from scratch. So let's run it, and I'll show you and see if there's anything I left out. So the first thing you can see is the ship moves around, and you go up to the planets, okay? And like obviously this one with the color there is the nearest one, so I'll hit the E key. And now this color that's right there, that little purple, is going to be the first color, the biggest one you see in this screen here, which is right up there. And then it's got the little things swirling around it and stuff. And then it's got the surface of the planet, kind of like a Terraria setup, but I'm not there yet. I'm just putting things in place to see how they look. And then I added the different variations in the textures and stuff for the gems, which I still haven't chosen what I'm going to do with that yet, but it just wanted to get a feel for what it looks like. And you can see how there's kind of diagonals, you know, that set that up and everything. And then over here on to the left, you've got the inventory, which I added the border like I was talking about with the absolute value of the, so that there's a little border background of black behind it, and you can see each inventory slot has a different color. So I'm just putting things in place. Nothing is really set. I'm just getting things down so that eventually when I get all the code and all the other stuff, I can make everything look really a lot better. Whoops, I didn't want to close. So let's say we go up, we go to this one. So the colors look completely different because we're going with the palette. See? We're going with the chosen palette there. So each planet has a unique little palette, which is really cool. So, and eventually you'll be able to change all this stuff. And if I go in, I can show you real quick if I wanted to. Where's this? See this right here? So if you want to see what the the rows of colors or the rows of stuff look like rather than the random stuff, let's just do that. So now if I go up to a planet, you can see how there's rows of the colors. And there's a slight variation in the colors because you're choosing between not just 5 colors, but 25 colors. So I just wanted that subtle little effect, and I think it's really cool. This is turning into something that I think is beautiful, and it's also going to be fun to play because we're just getting started. We haven't put any gameplay into it yet. So anyways, thanks for watching. I am very excited for this, and I hope that you are looking forward to seeing something that's functional and playable as well. Wait, let me get a screenshot here. What am I going to do? That one? That's a Seahawk looking screenshot, I guess you could say. So, alright, thanks again for watching.